For thousands of years, the oceans of the world have been fished. But in the past 5 decades, technology has allowed us to go farther, deeper, more efficiently than ever before. It's an advancement that has many people wondering, can our oceans keep up with the hunt? We're the only planet in our solar system known to have oceans, massive, powerful bodies of water that cover 72% of the Earth's surface. The wildlife in these waters may seem limitless, but scientists will tell you that the world's oceans are in a silent state of collapse due to overfishing. 90% of the large predatory fish populations, such as sharks, swordfish and cod, have already been removed from our waters, and all the while we continue to fish at a rate of 185,000 tons a day. When fish are scarce, hunters head to deeper and deeper waters to find their catch, a practice that can cause the commercial extinction of more exotic fish in as little as 4 years. With growing numbers like these, our generation will have had the single greatest impact on the depletion of the world's oceans. Overexploited fisheries also have a staggering impact on world nutrition, not to mention the economy as a whole. Over 1 billion people around the world depend on marine fish for an important source of protein. And without it, food security and health become increasingly problematic. Economically, fish and seafood products are also among the most widely traded commodities, a business worth billions of dollars annually. If demand is what keeps fishermen going, then it only makes sense that our choices and the way we consume can have a big impact on where and how they fish. This is a message that celebrity chef Rick Moonen preaches daily. As a celebrated seafood chef and champion of sustainable fishing practices, Rick Moonen is always looking to the kitchen for creative solutions. It's a pleasure to be in your kitchen, chef. You know, one subject that I know is on the tip of your tongue, and one that is on mine, is sustainability.
For sure. It's something I believed in for many, many years.
Let's talk about fish in particular. We have done a pretty good job of over-trawling, overfishing.
Sure.
Where are we today?
Well, today we're finally at a tipping point of realization, I believe, and what I try to promote is diversity. There are so many species of fish in the ocean that we just don't consume. We don't see it as our dinner on a day-to-day basis. And I'm trying to show that with diversity, we'll take the pressure off of those few fish that we think are so wonderful and delicious and allow them to rebound and have a chance to live in that environment and populate.
Tell me about this guy here.
Okay, what I want to show you is lionfish. This fish is not indigenous to our environment, but somebody decided to introduce them to the Atlantic Ocean where they did not belong. They're now known as invasive species. You're not supposed to be there, guys. So what are we going to do with them? All right, we're going to take them and carefully fillet them because they have these spines on them that are very, very, very poisonous. But the flesh is perfectly safe and perfectly fine. It's all in the fins. So we cut the fins off, we remove the fillet, and what I'm going to show you today is something that we're serving in our sushi bar and on our menu at RM Seafood, and it's lionfish ceviche.
Everybody loves ceviche.
Ceviche is so good.
Lionfish ceviche. How can we make this at home? What are the ingredients?
Okay, first we're going to take the diced up lionfish fillet. So if you notice that they're in chunks. That way it maintains the integrity of the fish. And you see the color of it right now?
Yeah.
How white it is?
Yeah. Okay,
now I'm going to add some yuzu juice, which is acidic. As you mix it, go ahead, you'll see that it starts to become opaque. The acidity starts to have a reaction with the proteins, much like if you were putting into a hot pan. So the proteins are denaturing, which sounds horrible, but that's what's happening. Okay, now I'm going to add some saltiness to it. So that's fish sauce. Adds a little bit of ocean flavors to it. Umami, makes your mouth water. Now I let that sit for just a minute, just mix it really, really well, because this is basically like searing it in a pan. Actually, see, the color of it has changed pretty dramatically.
Yeah.
It went from bright white, of course, the color of the fish sauce added a little bit. It's not quite there yet as far as where we're going, so we're gonna add a little bit more. I want some heat.
Some spice.
Some spice. This is Thai chilies, and that is spicy stuff. This is a yomomomo, or the pickled bayberry. All right, so now some diced shallots. Mix, mix, mix. Diced tomatoes. Shallots are aromatic, as you know. We add some cilantro. Cilantro has also a cooling effect on your palate, as an herb. Now we're going to add some diced cucumber. These are sea beans. Sea beans, a lot of fun. These add a little bit more crunch and a different kind of crunch. And again, another layer of saltiness to it.
Where can we get sea beans?
Sea beans can be purchased in a specialty produce department. Okay, now this is a vinaigrette made with fresh fennel and Pernod, a little bit of white soy and rice wine vinegar. That gets mixed in. That's the final juiciness of this dish. That has a little bit of oil in it. There is no oil in this dish whatsoever. So you know what? You're going to get some heat. You're going to get some flavors, but you're still going to be able to taste the fish. And that's what I mean when I say maintain the integrity of this dish. Okay, now we're going to let that sit for a minute because on ice, super chilling, allowing the flavors to come together. And while that's happening, we're going to fry up some lionfish that has been thinly sliced on a bias and then pounded between pieces of plastic with a little coating of potato starch. Here, we're going to serve this warm, so it's going to be a warm chip. Kind of like you're doing a taco or an enchilada or something where you can put some of your ceviche on top of it and eat it together as a chip.
Amazing.
So this is super simple. I don't even season this. This is just goes into a 350-degree fat fryer.
So you can pan fry these. What kind of oil do you recommend? Are we in olive oil, vegetable oil?
This is a vegetable oil.
Vegetable
a neutral oil is what I recommend. So then we're going to take them out carefully to drain the excessive oil off of them. And while these are doing that, we're going to take a little ring mold and we're going to make a fancy setup of the ceviche.
How important is presentation to you when you see a meal come out?
I think it's really important. So I give it a little bit of compression. I want to press it down a little bit. So there's the ceviche in our ring mold. Remove that real carefully. Then we garnish that with some of these what they call microgreens. So there you have it, Didi, our lionfish ceviche with lionfish chips on the side, some micro Asian greens, packed with flavor and super, super refreshing. And you really get the opportunity to experience lionfish.
Beautiful, let's try it.
Take one of those chips.
Take a chip?
Take a chip, put a little bit on top, just like that, and?
Cheers, chef. Oh, to sustainability. And there you have it, lionfish ceviche. It's delicious. It's the kind of dish you can have at maybe a party at your home. And if you're not wanting to make it yourself, you can always come to RM Seafood here in Las Vegas at Mandalay Place. Absolutely delicious. Thank you for sharing.